Have you ever just stopped and wondered what really, truly makes you, you? Well, today we're going to get into one of the biggest questions out there. Are we mostly a product of our nature, the genetic blueprint we're born with, or is it all about our nurture, the world that shapes us along the way?
It is a massive question, I know. So let's start with something super simple, something you literally see every single time you look in a mirror.
Think about your eye color. It's one of the first things people notice, right? And it's a perfect example of a trait that was just given to you. It was written into your code from day one. And that brings us to the first part of our story.
Right. We're talking about nature. This is all about the fundamental instructions for building you, passed down through generations. It's your starting point. So, what we're talking about here are inherited traits. These are characteristics that come straight from your parents through your genes. You can almost think of them as tiny bits of information that decide everything from how you look to even some parts of your health.
Let's run through a few quick examples. The unique curve or the straightness of your nose. Yeah, you didn't choose that. That's an inheritance.
And these instructions, they can get surprisingly specific. Check this out. Whether your earlobes are attached or if they dangle freely, that's also decided by your genes. It's such a tiny detail, but it shows you just how powerful this genetic blueprint really is.
And it doesn't stop there. Even things like the proportions of your hands, the length of your fingers, it's all part of this inherited package. But here's the thing. This whole genetic story isn't just about us humans.
So let's zoom out for a second and see how this blueprint idea plays out across the entire natural world. It's pretty amazing.
Just look at these two cats. On one side, you've got a Burman, which is genetically programmed for that long, silky fur. And on the other, a Sphinx, which is programmed for, almost no hair at all. It's the exact same genetic system at work, just with different instructions. And look at the incredible diversity it creates.
And it works for plants, too. A cactus, for instance, inherits a blueprint that lets it survive in insane heat with barely any water. These aren't just random features. They're actually genetic tools for survival.
Okay, so we've got this incredible blueprint from nature. It seems pretty set in stone, right? But this is where our story takes a really interesting turn. Because that blueprint, it's just the beginning.
Now we've got to look at the other side of the coin, nurture. This is everything else. It's the world you grow up in, the air you breathe, the food you eat, the community you're part of. It all plays a role. See, your environment can either help your genetic blueprint flourish or it can actively work against it. A really tough environment can put a limit on your potential, and that affects everything from physical growth to your overall health.
And these challenges are very, very real for a lot of people. We're talking about things like not having access to doctors, drinking unsafe water, poor sanitation that lets diseases spread, or even just the daily struggle to get enough food. All of these environmental factors have a huge impact on who we become.
But wait, nurture isn't just about what the world does to you. Not at all. It's also about what you do in the world. It all comes down to your personal choices and habits. This is where you become the builder. You're an active participant in your own story. The lifestyle choices we make day in and day out, they work directly with, or sometimes against, our genetic blueprint. The contrast couldn't be clearer, right? Good habits like eating a balanced diet and getting regular exercise can help you get the most out of your genetic potential. But on the other hand, things like smoking or a diet full of junk food can seriously undermine it, no matter how great your starting blueprint was.
So, we have the blueprint from nature, and we have the influence of the world and our own choices. That's nurture. The big question is, how in the world do they fit together?
Well, it really breaks down like this. You've got your genetic factors, that's nature, the blueprint you inherit. Then you have two kinds of nurture, the environmental factors, which are the conditions around you, and your lifestyle factors, which are all about the choices you make every single day.
So, you see, it was never a fight of nature versus nurture. It's not a competition. Your genes give you the potential, the starting point, but it's your environment and your lifestyle that decide how that potential actually gets expressed. It's a constant, incredible collaboration. In the end, you can't change the genetic blueprint you were given. That part's set. But you absolutely have influence over the choices you make and, to some degree, the world you live in. So the real question is, knowing that both your blueprint and your builder are at play, what are you going to build?